Have you ever met someone who's over 100, still walks to the market each morning, and laughs like they're only 30? On a small island in Japan, that's not rare. It's expected. They don't chase youth. They don't fear aging. They embrace life with such gentle rhythm. You'd think time itself forgot to tick. So what's their secret? It's not magic. It's not medicine. It's something much simpler. A way of eating, breathing, connecting, living. In this video, we'll uncover powerful habits that help the Japanese live longer, and more importantly, live better. Some of them are so simple you might already be halfway there without knowing. But stay with me, because the last one might just change the way you wake up tomorrow. Let's begin. The island where people forget to die. They call it the island where people forget to die. Nestled in the southern tip of Japan, Okinawa isn't just famous for its turquoise waters or gentle breezes. It's known for something far more extraordinary: longevity. Walk down the quiet streets of a village called Ogimi, and you'll see something beautiful. Elderly women, some well into their 90s, laughing together as they hang laundry. Men in their late 80s, tending gardens, riding bicycles, or preparing the family meal. No retirement homes, no walkers, just life, in full bloom. One woman, Misao Okawa, lived to 117. When asked about her secret, she smiled and said, "I eat well, I sleep, and I try to live with a light heart." In Okinawa, growing old doesn't mean growing weak. It means growing wiser. People here don't count years. They count mornings, meals, friendships, and laughter. Researchers call this a blue zone, one of 5 places in the world where people live significantly longer, healthier lives. But Okinawa is unique. Not only do people here live long, they thrive into their last breath, with purpose, connection, and joy. So, how do they do it? How can we too create a life where aging isn't something to fear, but something to honor? Let's begin with the first habit that runs through every Okinawan household. Eat with gratitude, not just nutrition. In Japan, meals begin with a simple phrase, "itadakimasu." It means, "I humbly receive." But it's more than just manners. It's a moment of gratitude. Gratitude to the farmer who grew the rice, the fisherman who caught the mackerel, the hands that prepared the meal with care. Unlike the rushed, distracted meals we often see today, eaten behind the wheel or in front of a screen, the Japanese treat mealtime as a sacred pause. No oversized portions, no processed overload, just small, beautiful plates, each color, each texture, each bite chosen with purpose. A traditional Japanese meal might include steamed rice, miso soup, grilled fish, pickled vegetables, and green tea. Balanced, light, high in fiber, antioxidants, and omega-3s. But more importantly, made with intention. And the secret isn't just what they eat, it's how they eat. They chew slowly. They stop before they're full. They savor, not stuff. This mindful approach to eating is one reason why Japan has one of the lowest obesity rates in the world, just 4.3%. Compare that to 36% in the US. But here's what really struck me. When I visited an elderly couple in Osaka, both in their 80s, they invited me to dinner. It was a simple meal, tofu, grilled eggplant, and rice. But before eating, they bowed their heads, smiled at each other, and whispered, "Itadakimasu." There was no TV, no phones, just them, present in the moment, sharing a quiet kind of joy. And maybe that's what nourishment really is. Move your body like you mean it. In the early hours of a Tokyo morning, as the city yawns awake, a quiet ritual begins. In parks, on rooftops, in schoolyards, people of all ages, especially seniors, gather. They raise their arms, bend their knees, sway gently to the sound of a familiar piano melody. It's called radio taiso, a short rhythmic exercise routine that's been part of Japanese life for generations. No loud gyms, no high-intensity boot camps, just simple, graceful movement every single day. In Japan, movement isn't something you schedule. It's something you live. People walk to the store, they squat to tend gardens, they ride bikes, sweep their porches, climb stairs without thinking twice. I met a woman in Nagano, age 87. She carries groceries home every day up a small hill. When I asked her why she doesn't take a car, she smiled and said, "Because my legs still can, and I want to keep it that way." The science is clear. Consistent, low-impact movement, like walking, stretching, or light housework, reduces the risk of heart disease, improves joint health, and boosts mood. But what's more powerful is this. Japanese elders move with intention, not to burn calories, not to lose weight, but to stay connected, to their bodies, to their routines, to the world around them, and maybe that's the lesson. You don't need a fitness app to stay active. You just need a reason to move and the will to keep moving. So tomorrow, take the stairs. Stretch while you wait for your coffee. Walk a little farther. Not because you have to, but because you can. The silent killer. Stress. And how they neutralize it. In the quiet mountains of Japan, there's a small village where the streets have no traffic noise. Only the rustle of bamboo leaves and the distant splash of koi in a pond. Here I met Mr. Sato, 89 years old. Every morning he kneels by his stone garden. He sips warm green tea. He rakes the sand into gentle waves. And he breathes. He told me, "I've had many storms in my life, but each morning I return to calm." In a world that constantly demands more noise, more work, more urgency, stress has become our silent companion. And left unchecked, it quietly shortens our lives. But the Japanese have cultivated ancient ways of protecting their inner peace. They practice Shinrin-yoku, forest bathing, not hiking, not running, just walking slowly through trees, listening, breathing. Science shows this lowers cortisol, blood pressure, and boosts immune function. They drink matcha, not for caffeine kicks, but as a mindful ritual. They soak in onsen hot springs, letting mineral-rich water melt tension from their bones.
Delicious.
And they honor
Eat
the art
well.
of doing nothing, whether it's arranging flowers, writing haiku, or sipping tea in silence. But perhaps the most beautiful thing, they don't see stress as a flaw. They see it as a wave to be acknowledged, respected, then gently released. It reminded me, you don't need to book a retreat to find peace. Sometimes, peace is simply not checking your phone for an hour. It's lighting a candle. It's stepping outside at dusk and listening to the birds. So ask yourself, what's your daily ritual for quiet? And if you don't have one yet, isn't it time? Friends, foxes, and furry love, the power of connection. Loneliness, they say, is as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. And yet, in Japan, especially among the elderly, loneliness is surprisingly rare. In a town near Kyoto, I was invited to a moai gathering. 10 elders, all over the age of 75, sitting around a low table. They drank tea, played cards, and laughed like teenagers. They've met every week for over 40 years. One woman leaned over and said, "When my husband passed, I thought I'd lose everything. But these friends, they became my heartbeat." Moai means a group for mutual support. It's more than friendship. It's a life pact. To show up, care, and age together. But the connections don't stop with people. In Tokyo, I met Mr. Yamato, 82, walking a tiny Shiba Inu named Momo. He told me, "This dog saved me. After my wife died, I stopped talking. But Momo, she made me speak again." Research agrees. Having a pet, especially a dog, lowers blood pressure, reduces anxiety, and increases lifespan. Not because they fix your problems, but because they give you someone to love and to be loved by every single day. Whether it's friends
Now
who
we
check
fluff
in,
the
a
rice
pet who greets you
gently
at the
like
door,
this.
or neighbors who remember your name,
It looks
connection
perfect.
heals.
Can I
It
try?
strengthens the heart, and it makes life worth staying for. So if you're feeling distant, don't wait. Send the text, make the call, or take a walk, and let a stranger become a friend. Because in the end, it's not what we have, but who we have. That helps us live longer and love deeper. Laughing is a legacy. Every Sunday at 3 p.m. in a small community hall outside Osaka, something magical happens.
Look at all
Dozens
this
of
fresh
elders
produce.
gather, not for bingo or tea, but to laugh. They do laughter yoga. They clap, chant, breathe, and then they laugh. Not at
Yes,
jokes,
it reminds
not at
me of
anyone,
summers when we
just
were
for the
young.
sake of
The
laughing.
sunset is beautiful
It starts
tonight.
off forced, a little awkward. Then someone snorts, another giggles, and within seconds, the room erupts in pure, unstoppable joy. This isn't silliness. This is science. Laughter releases endorphins, boosts immune function, reduces inflammation, and even improves heart health. One study showed that people who laugh daily are 40% less likely to suffer from heart disease. But in Japan, laughter isn't just for health. It's a cultural value, woven into daily life. There's even a proverb, warau kado ni wa fuku kitaru. Good fortune comes to the home of those who smile. I met a 94-year-old man in Okinawa who had lost most of his teeth, but none of his humor. He told me, "When I was younger, I laughed to forget. Now I laugh to remember life is still good." We often think wisdom comes with seriousness, but maybe real wisdom is knowing that joy is strength, that smiling through sorrow doesn't deny pain, it transforms it. So find something silly today. Rewatch your favorite comedy. Tell that ridiculous joke you love. Let yourself laugh. Full belly, loud, eyes wrinkled kind of laughter. Because in the end, it's not just good for your health, it's good for your legacy. Longevity is not a goal, it's a lifestyle. If you ask a 100-year-old in Japan how they lived so long, they might tilt their head and say, "I didn't try to." And that's the point. Longevity in Japan isn't something you chase. It's the quiet result of living with intention, community, gratitude, and joy. Day by day, year by year. At the heart of this way of life is a beautiful concept. Ikigai, your reason for waking up in the morning. It doesn't have to be big, not fame, not fortune.
Indeed.
For some, it's
perfect
tending
way
a
to end the
garden.
day
For
after a
others, it's
ride.
cooking for
We must do
grandchildren.
this again
For
soon.
many, it's simply seeing the sunrise again. In Okinawa, I met a woman named Kiko, 101 years old. When I asked her what her ikigai was, she said, "Making miso soup every morning. My family loves it." That's enough for me. No life hacks, no magic pills, just small rituals, deep relationships, and a mindset that says, today is worth living, fully. So maybe we've been asking the wrong question. Not, how can I live longer? But, how can I live better? And the answer might just be in your kitchen, in your walk around the block, in a call to an old friend, in a laugh you didn't hold back, in a moment you slowed down and felt it all. Because a long life is not built in years. It's built in moments, lived with grace, presence, and a heart wide open. Thank you for walking this journey with me. If these stories touched you, if they made you pause, smile, or rethink how you live, I invite you to share this video with someone you love. And don't forget to subscribe for more soul-nourishing stories like this one. Until next time, live gently, live gratefully, and live long.